First of all, greetings to each and every one of you. Today's topic, although looks like that we've been going against the motion, right? But thanks to our opponents who consider us worthy, sometimes justice can really do magic, right? And another important thing that I would like to talk about is I'm not ignoring, or we are not completely saying that politics should be absent, right? Despite all the intelligent and all the thrilling knowledge that we have received. What I basically like to just say is that we have to look at the dangers of these kind of ideologies that come to us, right? Because we are in a growing age, and with time we have understood that everything definitely is political, right? So if there's a question of democracy, like that has been very democratically said, we are in the country, and one of the, I would say one of the interesting things that I would like to look is that my friends have actually gone very far to understand political ideologies, right? To, I think, mostly UK and Brexit that we are talking about, coming from the way that language has been spoken. But I would like to draw focus or put attention to India, because we've been living here for some time now, and we have been able to understand the politics of India, maybe, in shadows, right? Comparatively to our Tibetan politics that happens. And the Tibetan framework of politics also functions in terms of some borrowed ideas that have been taken from different worldviews. But the ideal understanding of Tibetan politics is democracy, right? So in one way, when someone says that democracy, I also have a question. Is it not then a planned anarchy, right? If everybody agrees to one person, is it not everybody going against the same person? So my topic or my way of thing would be to not go like basically against, but in one way defend the whole idea of this political dangers that can come up, although be psychological, lingual, biological, anything. Because today, as growing ages, if we don't allow our children, our students, to grow with creative mindset, but rather have these political ideologies, maybe, political issues are important. We all should be aware, thanks to the internet, thanks to the mobile phones and etc., that we have access to a lot of freedom that we get. Right, and we'll be able to understand what is happening. But imagine if that doesn't happen. If you are not have the access to a lot of issues that happen, and somebody keeps telling you about political ideologies, that becomes a danger. So in schools, definitely I would say that I would like to defend that idea that it's too early. If there is no access to political issues, but there are political ideologies that come to it. But in colleges, maybe people have this sense of understanding that they are more aware of the, because politics, it's everything, like everything that happens, all is political. That is not a fact that can be ignored in today's world. Every mechanism that happens, from the time of the way we dress, from the food we eat, to the way we speak, to everything, it's a way of showing dominance. And my also point would be the idea of oppression that comes in. We are less in numbers. Had we been a billion, or maybe 10 millions, this could have been a radical force where there have been a lot of different maybe avenues where Tibetan people are actually growing in politics and different fields. But in lesser number, having one kind of setup of mind, and in setup of mind I mean being scared of getting radical, or being scared of getting fanatical because of this political ideologies is what scares me. So I would like to basically present this idea of the sense of elitism. Today we are in cross cultures. We are in cross culture in the sense like we follow a lot of tradition that happens with us. We are every day trying to brandish ourselves, trying to portray ourselves and show ourselves as something, we are the ideal citizen. But when it comes to reflecting our own cultures, reflecting our own politics, what I would basically say is that first we should develop ourselves in our specific creative fields. There should be someone who's into a stream of psychology, stream of scientists, stream of doctors. We need to be materialistic to the world. And if that happens, and maybe later, following that, we can be ready to understand politics. We are already aware. It's not that something has to be forced to us. Thanks to the kind of things that happen, like I said, staying in the shadows of the Indian politics that happen. Voting and all are very basic things. It's almost like saying, tomorrow we should have cooking classes, just because everybody should cook. You know what I mean? And then, cooking is something, basic needs are important. Your awareness is important. But to have something which is hardcore and being thrown into you or being forced to you that people might not like. Some people might enjoy this. I don't disagree. But there may be many who would like to understand it being broken. So for those people, I would say there would be a different way of approach, like we call the discourse or maybe the meaningful utterances that we make. Right? To understand, to sensitize ourselves and to be aware of what is happening around the world is one thing. And to also go ahead and talk about about these kind of talks is another. But what we miss today is the social capital. Today, if you don't know some English songs, today if you don't know some way to talk English.
Excuse me, can you please sum up your...
Thank you.
Yeah.